as an alum of Alderdice High School in Squirrel Hill.
I think a lot of these kids in this school, I think they all want to be rappers because of him.
Current parents, students, and staff say they're grateful for Khalifa's support.
It's a motivation for me. I could do what they did, get better, keep trying, keep working.
It's amazing that he's actually giving back, and it's a sweet reminder that, you can start anywhere and you can go anywhere from, despite your upbringings and your surroundings.
And there's more of where that came from. What's going on? Welcome back. My name is Sly. I am an area director on the east end of Pittsburgh. Me, my smoking hot wife, Amy, have been in Pittsburgh for about a little over a year and a half at this point. And we came from Colorado, and we have the opportunity to be with Young Life, where we meet kids, we get to love on them, support them, and help them grow in their faith with Jesus Christ. And it's been a great experience. And so for actually since being here in August, I started doing month-to-month updates of what's going on, the happenings of what goes on in my life, whether I'm meeting kids, having meetings. I'm just really giving you guys more of a look at what I do on a month-to-month basis, and it clearly changes. If you look at any of the months, you see that they're usually not the same. The one constant thing is that I get to meet kids, and I get to introduce them to knowing Jesus more, and we build relationships. So that's been phenomenal. With that being said, let's get into January's update. Is phenomenal. It was a great month. Check this out.
Ready.
And we are back at it. My man Caleb, smoking hot over here. It is YL 2020 conference, all-staff conference. It's about to be some good things. How you feeling over here, Caleb? Looking
Very good.
Nice. Yeah. It's about to be very exciting. And check this out. We begin.
Hey, am I on?
Hey, yeah, you are. Come
Welcome,
on.
buddy.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Oh, it's good to be here, guys. It's good to be here. So coming off that bus and being introduced or welcomed by just some great people, seeing that banner and some bubbles, you wouldn't think, or you would be surprised as to what awaited us. And before I even explain what happened that week, check out some of these videos.
When I was still your enemy, Sabbath, that's when grace came. That's when grace came, running after me when I was going my own way.
So YL 2020 is held for everyone that's on staff. We do it once every 4 years, and we did it at Coronado Springs and Disney, and it was an amazing experience. It was approaching 6,000 people there from 104 countries, and it was just reassuring to see that, one, you're not alone, and sometimes you can kind of get bogged down into your own area, and you see how your area, how your story kind of plays into this bigger picture. Once again, 104 countries being there. I mean, being at a dinner table where people were from Japan and from China, seeing people that we met in the Bahamas, but then also seeing people that lived on the West Coast and also on the East Coast of America. It was just a really sweet picture of heaven. Being able to see how everyone has differences and how we are unique, but yet we all can have a purpose, one purpose, and being like-minded was phenomenal. I had such a great time. I really could go on and on about just like what that week entailed, and I wouldn't want to bore you, but we also had some amazing speakers that came out, and they just touched on just some sweet things. I mean, inclusivity and diversity. I mean, just, women and the power that they have and that they bestow. You talked about just what it looks like to, did our breakout sessions on like spirituality and health and what that looks like, emotional health. We talked about the Enneagram. So just a lot of things that are going on in this world. We were able to have a lens to look through those things. And it was just a phenomenal week. It was also great because Amy was there, my smoking hot wife. She was able to be there and be appreciated. And I think it was also a great way to capture the appreciation Young Life has for spouses, knowing that they are sacrificing a lot of time when we're out running around with kids and supporting them. Sometimes that spouse is at home to kind of wait for their husband or for their wife to come home. And so it was really great for them to be able to come down and just relax. We had magic bands. And you're probably like, what do you need a magic band for? Check this out.
We were just told we're going to Magical Kingdom. Where we going? Where we going again? Where are we going?
Animal Kingdom.
We're going to Animal Kingdom. They just told us it's about to get crazy. We're crazy. This whole crazy is out of control.
You thought that was cool. Imagine being there. We're in this convention center and the Lion King cast comes out and they're putting on this amazing show. And then we get told that buses are literally lining up for all of us to go to Animal Kingdom when it was closed. So they pretty much opened it just for us. And so we were able to go to Animal Kingdom for this evening, and they provided food and we were able to just walk around, and literally made me feel like a little kid again, which it's hard to believe because some people just call me a big kid, but I literally felt like a little kid. I was in awe. My eyes were just open, and I was just amazed. So thank you so much, Young Life, but thank you, Disney, for continuing to believe and to continue to pour into the kids of this next generation, allow them to know to dream big and that can take them anywhere. So I had a great time with that. Amy was definitely blown away. She's such a Disney fan. And it was my first time ever being going to Disney World, and so that was great. And then on top of that, that following day, we got the opportunity to go to Magic Kingdom and check out some of these videos, some of these pics of just some beautiful people that we got to hang out with.
There you go. We are in Disney Magical Kingdom. Wait, is this Magical Kingdom? This is Magical. With my sweet, beautiful friends Matt and Danielle Giovinco. It's a beautiful night. Fireworks about to come on in about 5 minutes. Stay tuned.
Once again, blown away by the community. It was just a great way to connect everyone again. Like I met people from training last year that I was able to connect with this year and say like, hey, like what park are you going to, or when can we link up? So my wife got to meet my friends' wives, and it was just a great week of that. And I don't want to leave that experience or that moment, but there was literally that week left. Amy went back home, and I stayed in Florida for another week. I had training. I did systematic theology. And it was such a great week. Amazing professor, Miss Suzanne, or Professor Suzanne McDonald. She was phenomenal doing systematic theology, where we talked about anthropology and church and the sacraments. And we talked about infallibility and ineffability. Just so many things we covered. And it was just a great, she related in such a way where we didn't walk out kind of with like tension or with animosity, but to walk out realizing that people see and view things differently, and how we can always bring all those things back to Scripture. And that was the beautiful thing about it. And it made me more excited to read Scripture and want to partake in it, and to walk into that more freely, and to realize that like there's different perspectives that people have, and that once again God has created us to be very unique people. And so I really enjoyed that, and we have tons of assignments that are coming up, but I'm actually excited to get into those assignments and just learn more, and I continue to learn. I just was reading recently that our minds are like parachutes, and they don't work unless you open them. And so just trying to be open-minded and realize that I can't box things or box people or box ideas, and how people think and live differently, and to walk into that and have more of an understanding about those things. So had an amazing week. I don't want to bore you clearly with like what I was learning, but those are just some of the tidbits of what we were talking about, having discussion about, breaking into small groups, and what we were kind of walking back out of or flying back into Pittsburgh, and now having to do assignments for the next 3 weeks or so after you see this video. So that was great. Had an amazing time. Thank you again, Young Life. Thank you again, Western University, for sacrificing or allowing Professor Suzanne McDonald to come down for a little over a week and just hang out with us and just give us some sweet wisdom and teach us on these sweet topics. So after being away for almost 2 weeks from my Young Love, from our area, from my leaders, it was great to walk back into, we walked right into Leader Weekend, and it was great. It was, I think, close to over 300 leaders from all over the Keystone region that came together, and it was kind of this sweet transition from seeing over almost 6,000 people being together from different countries. We're now transitioning into over 300 leaders from different parts of Pennsylvania, and how we're like this representation and how people are proclaiming the gospel in those areas. And so that was so much fun. It was definitely a lot, like I said, being away for almost 2 weeks and then walking into that, but it was just this new kind of atmosphere and energy that was created. And so I was I'm honored to be a part of that, and to realize once again that we're not alone, and that we all have these unique talents and gifts that we've been gifted with. And so that was great. But we were back home. We were finally back in Pennsylvania, and once again, being away for 2 weeks, I was texting boys and checking in on leaders, but the leaders stepped up tremendously. They were still doing contact work, going to the school, meeting kids, going to sporting events. So it was great, where I didn't feel like it was just me at the school, like I was the only presence. And so I'm happy that they were bold enough and stepped out and were faithful, and not necessarily to me, but to their calling of being there and being ready to support those kids. And like I said, build these relationships that I don't have with these kids. So that was a lot of fun. But what came back, and like I said, I'm doing music for these basketball games, and sure enough, as you saw earlier, the first video on this video was this kind of interview that kind of came out of nowhere. And so yeah, I'm like setting up for this basketball game, and a reporter comes over. Well, I didn't know at the time, but found out she was a reporter, and she thought I was alumni, and I wasn't, and I told her, but she, for whatever reason, just was like, wow, you're really passionate about what you're talking about. And I was like, I don't know why, but needless to say, she ended up asking me to be interviewed, and I was like, absolutely. So that's kind of where that came from. I was not expecting that, but that's also the beautiful thing of just showing up. You just never know what to expect. Hopefully it's good, always good things, but sometimes you gotta take the good with the bad. But it was just awesome to just be going there to be a part of the community and being able to highlight something that was going on in Pittsburgh, but also just be a part of it. And kids got to see me doing that as well, and we got a laugh out of it afterwards. But it was just a really great time. Had an amazing time being there, and check out this some of the uprise at the basketball game. So that was the boys playing ball. I know some of them on the team, and then like I said, some of my guys were actually in the audience. But for the guys who are not watching this, to be honest, I actually enjoy doing the girls basketball games more. Like they're just ballers. I mean, the boys, you were really good, but those girls really be balling, and I just love it. I love playing music for them and all, but the girls got a sweet spot in my heart for sure. And so maybe because I don't get to hang out with them as much, and I get to see you clowns all the time, it actually was it's really fun, being there and just being appreciative, being appreciated. The boys appreciate me for sure, but even the girls, I just met the coach, and she's been so great. So shout goes out to the coaches for the boys and girls team. They've been so appreciative and well respected to my schedule. Clearly, the moments that I can't be there, they've been understanding of that, and always welcome me back in when I come back. So I try not to miss that many games, but sometimes it happens. So that's been a lot of fun. And another benefit of being back, what I probably enjoyed the most out of, just being here in Pittsburgh, is campaigners, really starting that up. It's been so much fun. I really enjoy that, seeing like just knowing like 2 kids when I first got here to now having, you know, close to 10 to 15 boys come to our house, and they know that we're going to have a great time. We're going to play some video games or play a game. We do an icebreaker, but then we're going to open up this true and living word and talk about it. And just say, hey, what stands out to you? What confuses you? And what downright just sounds crazy to you? And just have a spot, a space to process that, to talk about it in a safe environment. And so that's probably been my most favorite thing as I get to know these boys, is just growing with them and learning with them and doing life on life. Like going to the grocery store with them, taking them places, them helping me out with just things around the house, or if I need to take them somewhere to help someone else out, they've been a part of that. And they're starting to see that they can do the same exact thing, not only in their household, but even in their school and in their environment, in their community. So that's just been something that I've enjoyed growing and learning more about, you know, while I'm in Pittsburgh. And so that's just been a phenomenal time. I mean, with everything going on, or that has going on in January, it just makes me more excited for February and what awaits me. I don't even know. There might be some things that are actually in the calendar, but yet you still just don't know what's going to happen. And so it's been just so great to walk and live in January, but I'm very excited about February. Before I even get to February, definitely have prayer requests for you guys, and so you can be praying for this. And also, Amy, she'll be sending out, like I said, she sends out a quarterly newsletter, but she's also going to be sending you guys kind of like a 2020 vision, like the big picture for the entire year. So some things that we're getting to right now, some things we hope to get to in the near future. But you can be praying for, one, just Amy and I, and just what we're doing and how we're being used in this area. You can be praying for us, and just that we have a balance, and that we kind of hit that rhythm of life, that we are, you know, that we're not getting burnt out, we're not doing too much, but we are being attuned to what God has for us. Praying for the community as we grow with it, the kids that we get to know, campaigners, as that grows, that we always are leaving room open for any type of kid that wants to come, that they would feel welcome, that they would feel loved. We're hoping to start our first club hopefully in March. So like clearly we're planning that now. We're talking about it. We're praying about those things. I mean, praying for our leaders. They're so amazing. They have full schedules. I mean, they're working. They're students. And on top of that, we're asking them to give a lot of their life away to these kids. They'll sometimes reject them. I mean, that's just the name of the game. But you can be praying for them. I love them. Spencer, Sarah, and Becca, I just love you guys. Thank you so much for all that you do. Once again, for my smoking hot wife. Yeah, that's right. We're pregnant. A miracle. I mean, seriously, I'm so honored to be walking into this with Amy as she carries this miracle, you know, that we are blessed to just have while we're on this earth. And so we're very excited about that. And no, we don't know the gender, and your guy's not gonna find out until the baby pops out. So probably don't ask, but needless to say, we're really excited. We are very just appreciative and humble, you know, that we get the opportunity to walk on this earth and have just a beautiful child. And so you guys be praying for that, of course, as we welcome a new child into this world, and this beautiful but crazy world. And that, you know, hopefully we have a community of people that we truly love, that are going to support us and hold us accountable and catch us when we're falling or we need to take a nap. And so we're just like, once again, very appreciative, honored, and humbled by just how great our God is. And so you can be praying for that as well. Also, finances, like we're always going to be support raising, and that's not even a bad thing. I mean, we're doing well financially as far as our operating budget, but you know, we got ideas for campership because we want to get these kids to camp. And as they serve, like I said, they do 6 service projects throughout the year. We want to be able to reward them with going to camp, you know, maybe offsetting that price, because camp is a pretty penny, you know, and everyone can't afford that, but that shouldn't be the excuse why they can't attend camp. And so we have some exciting ideas on the way. You'll see those soon. We'll actually have a separate video for that, but be on the lookout. Be thinking of like, hey, how can, you know, we help East End of Pittsburgh out, and how can we help fund that even more to then, you know, get into a point where we can help other areas and help our area expand more with more team members and more leaders in different schools. So you can be praying for those things. We love you guys so much. We thank you so much for all your prayers, all your support. It really goes a long way. We know we can't do this. It's not self-sustained. This is something that can't happen just on our will. Like, we need you guys, and we thank you so much for your prayers. If you haven't heard it from anyone else, hear it from me. You have meaning, you are valued, and you have purpose in life. I love you so much. Thank you for everything that you guys are a part of and help me do, and also Amy, how she comes and helps me out as well. All right, clearly January was great, but I got to get to February. I got to go, and I know you guys got things you need to do to prepare for February. Get to it. Love you guys. Peace.